PhoneDog 101.
Hi, I'm Sydney from PhoneDog.com. As you've probably noticed, most cell phones today have a touchscreen, both smartphones and feature phones. Most smartphones use a capacitive touchscreen, whereas only some feature phones use a capacitive touchscreen, and some feature phones use a resistive touchscreen. So what's the difference? Which one is better, and does it matter which one you choose? Well, that's what we're going to talk about in this PhoneDog 101 video. A resistive touchscreen uses pressure to register the contact location. It is designed with two thin sheets that are separated by microdots or air gaps. These two layers are coated with a resistive material called indium tin oxide or ITO. When the two sheets are pressed together, a touch is registered in that location. Resistive touchscreens often use a stylus, though you can make do with any sort of pen-like object or your fingernail. A resistive touchscreen is cheaper to make, which is why they're typically seen on low-end feature phones. With a capacitive touchscreen, the conductive material ITO is also used to coat the outside panel of glass. However, touch registry is based on the electrical properties of your body. When your finger touches the screen, a change is registered in the electrostatic field and the location is targeted. A capacitive touchscreen does not typically use a stylus, although a capacitive stylus has been created. A capacitive touchscreen must be touched by some sort of conductive material in order for the touch to register. In short, a resistive touchscreen is based on actual physical pressure, whereas a capacitive touchscreen is based on an electrical charge. Because of the way resistive technology works, resistive touchscreens are not always accurate. Most resistive touchscreens do not support multi-touch, though they can be designed to do so. And resistive touchscreens generally require more pressure for the touch to be registered compared to a capacitive touchscreen. A capacitive touchscreen is typically more accurate, does support multi-touch, and offers a higher clarity display. That being said, a capacitive touchscreen can only be used if it's touched by some sort of conductive material, as mentioned earlier. If you're wearing gloves, it won't work, though you can buy a pair of gloves with special conductive material on the fingertips. A resistive touchscreen responds to any touch, whether it's from a glove, a finger, a pen, or a stylus. The general consensus is that a capacitive touchscreen is better, as you can see by the fact that most smartphones have a capacitive touchscreen. Still, some people actually prefer a resistive touchscreen, and in some cases it is better. A low-quality capacitive touchscreen is still no better than your standard resistive touchscreen. All things being considered, go for a capacitive touchscreen device if it's within your budget. There are some downsides, but the overall experience and performance is generally better.